Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Looking for My Fit. My name is Jamaica, and normally you would see good old Lo sitting beside me, but today I have a new co-host. It is my baby, my oldest baby, Jordan.
Thank you.
Yes, well, thank you for jumping on the podcast.
I'm very excited.
Oh, well, I'm happy that you agreed to be on here. So, Los is available, but I thought I would bring you on because we are still navigating the pandemic.
Yes.
It has been interesting and much longer than we ever thought it was going to last. But I feel like we found silver linings within it. We've had some good things happen during the pandemic. So I'm not downplaying the severity of it, but we've managed to navigate through it and find some good things out of it. But right now, we're heading into some new territory with a couple things. First and foremost, my big baby is going to high school. Like, what? She's going to high school. So she's 14. She's going to high school. She's taller than me. I'm glad that we're sitting down. But every now and then I have to flex on her just so she knows I don't care how tall you are. I will still snatch you up. But she's taller than me. It's feeling so mature. And you're going to high school and I'm kind of not ready. So let me get your opinion before I throw some things at you. How do you feel about going to high school?
I'm excited, but I'm nervous at the same time. Like I'm good at learning, but it's like online. So it's like I feel like it's going to be harder for me to learn. I don't know, because I'm not physically there with someone who can like point out what I did wrong.
Yeah.
And like just like guide me through one by one.
Well, we don't know that yet. Because you actually have to physically sit through a class. So, like most places, the schools here are not opening, going completely virtual. And today, I will not tell a lie, I had a slight headache sitting through the virtual open house. I was like,
this is long and confusing.
It was a lot going on. However, one of the things that I talked about, which is going to lead me into the next thing, is we need grace on both sides. So I'm hoping that parents are going to give teachers grace and say, listen, we realize this is totally different than what you're used to, and you're trying to navigate all these technology issues that we haven't had to deal with before. But on the flip side, I hope the teachers give grace for kids trying to figure it out and parents who are also trying to figure it out. I feel confident about you because, I mean, you are Gen Z. Y'all know all tech things. It is only around you that I feel old when it comes to technology. So your daddy, Los, makes me feel like a spring chicken. He is not.
Cannot figure out Instagram.
Oh my gosh. I mean,
anything.
Los and technology, whole other situation. So I feel like I'm hip. I feel like, I'm in the loop. And then I get around you and I'm like, I know nothing. So with that part, I feel good. Where I get nervous is with the twins because that. So I feel good with you that.
I feel like it's also going to be hard because they're going to like depend on me to help them. And if they don't understand something, then be like, oh, Jordan, can you help me with this? Jordan, can you help me with that?
I mean, we'll be around, but we're definitely going to have to lean on you a little bit, especially with like the platform that they're using because you've already used that.
Yeah,
so
Canvas.
Yeah, so that's one part. But let's get to the real good part, which is she's going to high school, and the next part is with her daddy.
I'm excited.
I was about to ask you how you feel about it.
I mean, I'm fine with it. I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, I'm with him almost like half of the day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not... I feel like it's going to be a difference, but not that much of a difference.
Well, half of the day because Jordan, prior to now, has been in a magnet school, which means there are kids. She was at a school of the arts. And so kids from all over the county can come to that school. So they had like different bus stops, but like where a lot of kids could gather at one spot. So her bus stop was actually, they call it a shuttle stop, was at Carlos's school. So she was already riding with him to school. Then she would just go and sit in his office and wait until she got the notification on the app that the bus was closed. And then she would go and catch the bus. But then in the afternoon, she'd catch the bus back over there. So you already spend a lot of time there. So it's not going to be like brand new school. I don't know anybody. I don't know anything. You know people. Yeah. You know the school. You're there all the time.
Know my way around.
So that's going to be good. Where I worry. No, I only say I worry. It's going to be comical with you and your daddy.
Oh, definitely. Especially with guys.
Yeah. I'm going to be mindful about what I say because he gets mad when I talk about it. I'll just say, growing up, the elderly would say fast. Wasn't like that, but I like the guys. I'm like, so I always tease him and say, man, if my daddy was the athletic director. So that's going to be interesting. But today, let's back up. Initially, I was a little bit concerned about you going there. I knew why you wanted to go. So you liked your other school, kinda. But see, you liked your school for social. The friends for you made purposes. At middle school,
learning different things about people, and like different types of sexualities and like pronouns. I didn't know pronouns were a thing until I went to Northwest.
Yeah,
and they were like I would like slip up sometimes. They'd be like, "Oh no!" Like everybody's really understanding.
Yeah, it's
very open.
I would say very diverse school.
Yes. Very
diverse school. And I love that about your school. I mean, just people from all different walks of life. And so I think it was kind of an example of like how the world should be as far as like loving each other, accepting one another, not judging one another. So I loved it for that. But the thing that you were missing was the one thing that you said you wanted an actual high school experience. Yeah. So at her school, they did not have sports. She claims they had a team, but it was not a real team.
It was a basketball team, but it wasn't. It was Northwest, but it was like a group. Like
they did not have a real team. Yes. There were no cheerleaders. There were no.
Yes, there were cheerleaders.
Jordan.
I promise. I promise you there were cheerleaders.
I'm not trying to put the school down, but there were no events with school. Again, it was a school.
But the kids couldn't go.
Well, I'm saying y'all had events, but it was all around the arts. So there would be like concerts and musicals and plays. They had that, but they didn't have a basketball team or things that you would stay after where you're like, oh, I can pull from my team. So you said, I really want to have a high school experience. I want to be able to go to football games and go to basketball games and meet my friends at whatever. So that's where you want to go. Now, of course, your daddy is happy because he's protective for once. He's like, yeah, let her come to high school with me. And then I was like, yeah, let her go to high school with you. Because I felt like he could kind of take over he'd be the one to kind of oversee some of that stuff. As far as that. Now, you've heard us talk about Jordan on the podcast before. If you haven't, go back and listen. This is the child who...
Don't expose me.
So, first of all, very mature. Very smart. Very intelligent. We always joke and say you would be the one that would do the thing that you and Denise Huxtable from the Cosby Show. Like, a wild card in that sense, but like the civil rights activist, like that is definitely your wheelhouse. The thing with you, though, if we're being transparent, you're smart, and you're smart on the level where you don't understand why you have to do certain things. So she's like, I don't make excuses for her, but there would be times we would check her grades, and I'm like, Jordan, it's not going to be the test grades that are going to be bad. It's not the test grades. It's going to be all the little tasks in between where the assignments are missing. And her rationale is like, why? You really don't have one. Just, this is not, proving what I know. This doesn't test.
Doesn't help me in any way. So.
But it'll be easy work. So you fought that for a minute, which was a struggle for us as parents because you are such just a mannerable. You are, but you're so mannerable and like respectful. So it's not like you like I ain't doing it. You just like.
I try to find the best out of things.
Yes, I'm like, Jordan, just do the work. And then your dad was really getting frustrated. And he has said 1,000,000 times, I'm not going to say nothing else to her about it. No, she failed. I'm not going to say anything. And then he'll check again, Jordan, what? So he fought it. But I don't know what, let me ask you, because I could talk about like, what turned it around for you at the end? Because you made like a complete turn. And we were like, oh. There she is.
They're having a grades party and I want to go. Cause I remember one time I got like a D in science and that held me back from going. And then all my friends were like, oh, you didn't get to go. And I was like, I'm going to make it next time. And they're like, okay, whatever. And I made it. Went to the ice cream party.
She can do whatever she wants to do. And at the end of the year when her grades, like the test scores come back, she's always going to do well. So I was initially like, yeah, she needs to go to high school with Lo so he can stay on top of stuff. However, now I'm wondering if I'm still going to have to be as involved as I thought I wouldn't have to be. And here's why. Because you're going remote, they send a message and said, come and pick up your things like your Chromebook and pick up all your materials. So they had a date for me to go get the stuff for the twins. They got iPads and then they had a date to come pick up stuff for you, and that was a Chromebook. So I say to those, hey, make sure you get Jordan's stuff. To which he says to me, so where I pick it up from? You work at the school! Why are you asking me?
Well, I think they didn't have it like set up.
No, Jordan, that's not the point. The point is when I said I talked to one of the teachers, so bless the teachers, they had to call everybody in their homeroom for the high school. They said you have to come and pick stuff up. And I said, okay. And then they have like the Connect Ed call where they call and give information. So the principal has already been on top of stuff, giving phone calls every week. Got the phone call. Here are the days and the times that you can pick stuff up. Well, I didn't even really pay attention to the times because I'm like, Carlos works there. So he'll get the details.
He did tell me this morning that he didn't get it because he wanted me to be independent.
Your daddy's telling a lie. When I told your daddy to pick it up, he said to me, not only that, we were on the phone. We were on the phone and he was at the school. And I said, Los, don't forget to pick up Jordan's stuff. Well, where I get it at? I was like, at the school. I'm like, you were at the school. And then he goes, but where in the school? If you don't call or get on that walkie up to the front office, email, or walk down the hall and ask somebody where to pick this up, you better. So he's asking me questions. And he's at the school. So I don't know if I'm going to get the sense of that I thought I was going to get.
Well, then again, he does just do athletics.
Girl, daddy's girl. Do you hear me? We tight, but she ain't going to let you talk bad about dad now.
I wouldn't let either of you. I don't.
This is the beginning of the school year. I asked a simple thing. Get Jordan's stuff. And the point is, he asked me while he was at the school. How do I know? I don't know. I don't work at the school. So I just felt like I was supposed to have a hookup because he's there, being like, hey, I'm going to get this inside scoop. I do not think I'm now going to have an inside scoop. So, yeah, pray for all of us because that's going to add another level. If you weren't there at school with him, then I could say legitimately like, okay, let me figure this out or not necessarily be bothered. But if I have to find something out with him at school, we going to get tight. So pray for us all, y'all, as she heads into high school.
Yes.
Now, grades, I know you'll be fine. One, I'm not saying I'm laid back like I don't care. My approach is different than your daddy. Your daddy is very different in his approach, and I know with you being there, his biggest thing is going to be, you ain't going to be embarrassed of me getting no crazy grades.
See, my thing is, like, in my head, I don't want him to embarrass me.
So-
He's gonna make someone upset, or he might, like, tell someone something like, oh, that's Mr. Richardson's daughter. I'm like, oh.
That's a very real possibility, but at least you know. And then he on the other side is like, Johnny, he told you ain't gonna be embarrassed me. You better have your work in. You better get your stuff done. They ain't gonna be talking about me.
I'm not
Mr.
gonna
Richard's
embarrass
daughter don't even do her work. So, I'm
Be
good
very
for that.
loyal on that. Will not embarrass him. It's his job. He loves the atmosphere. I wouldn't want to
Go in there and mess it up.
Yeah.
No, I do believe it'll be good. And I feel like we are already very active at the school, but now we'll be even more active when the school reopens now that you are officially a cougar. So that's exciting. Grades for me, and I cannot predict the future, are my biggest priority with you. I don't worry about you socially.
What do you mean?
Like, one, you're super social. You talk to people. So you are not the type of person who feels like you have to have somebody with you to go do things. Yeah. So like if you want to do something, you just go do it.
Yeah.
I mean, if your friends can go, that's an added perk for you. But if they can't go, you're not like, oh, I was gonna go, but she can't go. You be like, I mean, she can't go, but I still want to go.
You're about to miss out because you don't want to go.
Yeah, so I love that about you. And I know high school can be kind of difficult to navigate. Like you're growing up and it's a weird time, especially when you're at school with seniors. And so they're on the verge of being adults, but you're a freshman. But I don't worry about that either. Primarily because of the relationship that we have.
Yeah, very open.
We have a very open... We have a very open relationship. I don't feel like there is any stone left unturned.
No, talk about everything.
We talk about everything. But I'm intentional with that because, I mean, you and I have talked about this is not a first time thing. I just don't ever want you or your brother and sisters. I better not be no S out there. Call it no baby out there. I don't ever want any of you all to feel like you don't have, one, a safe place to come and talk about stuff, but two, I'm super transparent. I mean, with the twins, there's certain things I talk to you about that they're just not ready to talk about.
The twins are very open about, like, who they like or, like, who their best friends are. Yeah. And, like, stuff that happens in their life.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, and so we try to keep that, that open so that they come and tell us stuff. And with you, you can literally tell me anything. But I also try to tell you stuff, even though sometimes you're like, Mom, why do you say that? I don't want you learning from school. I mean, there's going to be some stuff that I'm clearly going to miss out on. Not intentionally, but I can't cover everything. But I try to cover as much as I can. And you be like, Mama, and I'm like, well, listen, either you gonna hear, you gonna get it from me, or you gonna get it from somebody else. But I was listening to my boy Corey, CO, who has a podcast. We were listening to it today in the car, and I was driving the car. Luckily, I was in the residential place, so I could take my hands off, and I was like, yes. Because we literally
we were having a conversation about it.
Literally had just had the same conversation. And basically he was just touching on, how he has very open dialogue with his daughter because he would rather have a relationship with her where she can tell him stuff rather than have her doing things in the shadows. And that's how I feel. So I'm like, there's no topic off limits for us. We talk about boys, we talk about sex, we talk about current events, talk about what?
That song.
Yeah, oh, Jesus. But that I am very intentional about having that with you because I just always want there to be that level of comfort. I don't ever want you to feel like you have to sneak and do something like, nah.
There's a lot of people I'm like, we're associates. And they'll talk to me, and they're like, well, I'm scared to tell my mom this, and she's going to judge me, and then she's going to tell the whole family, and then they're just going to, they're just going to stop talking to them. I'm just like,
Yeah, and I don't ever want you to feel that.
Yeah.
I mean, you or your brother or sister. So
they go into like a state of like depression. They're like, I don't know who I can talk to.
Gosh, that's the stuff I saw. So being in middle school, I cannot tell you the number of times I've had somebody come to my office. I had a private conversation with the student where they said stuff like they're scared to talk to their parents, and I just don't ever want y'all to have that ever. So you and I are very open. I'm like, girl, you come and tell me whatever. I am not gonna. And then I'm mindful about how I respond to stuff. So sometimes you do something and I want to be like, girl. But I'll be like, hold on. Let me process this for a second. But I can't say, you can tell me anything, but then when you tell me anything, be like, why you out here? I'm more likely to get like that about your grades than about like anything else. Just because I know what you're capable of. But
my grades are still pretty chill.
Yeah, I mean, because I know eventually, especially you learn by natural consequences. So when it came time to go to high school, even though you wanted to go with your dad, when other people had options to do other things, and you were like, oh, maybe, I was like, nah, boo, you can't do that. You can't go there. Why? Because not that you're not smart enough, you didn't put in the work. So on paper, you can't go. Like if somebody was to bring you in for an interview and talk to you and see what you know, possibly, but that is not how the world works. So it was a perfect.
Yeah, I think that was also another reason why I was like you need to do better. Because I was like, there's people out here who are like, oh, I'm going to get a job, I'm going to do this and do that. And then I'm just like, I can't do this.
But no, it wasn't even about the job. It was like different schools. So like the good thing about Charlotte, college. They have different opportunities for different types of schools to go to. So it was like an after school special, where you like chilling and then your friends are like, hey, I got into this, and you're like, I can't go to that. So it worked out. Me and your daddy have been talking, and then the final time when your dad's like, yeah, she'll learn. But then he kept saying, but when you get to 9th grade, you ain't got no time for games. But what happened earlier was when your friends were discussing other options of things they could do because they had the grades to do so, you were like, oh hell.
I mean, my friends,
you're like,
yeah. So, I mean, me and my friend group, we're pretty open about everything. So it's like we talk about grades, we talk about a lot of stuff. And so I remember one time we were sitting in the cafeteria, and Corinne was like, oh, I'm gonna go to early college, and like everybody was applying, and the whole school was talking about going to early college. And I was like, what is early college? So then I asked you. I was like, I can't, like you had to have a certain GPA to get into early college.
And when she said that, sometimes, you could, as a parent, you could be like, your daddy and I were like, all the things that we've been saying have now put themselves into play. And that was a very eye-opening experience for you. And that was what we were trying to say. We get that you feel like some of the things that they want you to do are stupid. And you don't understand why you have to turn in a reading log. I still don't understand your rationale behind that. I'm like, that's an easy 100. But we get what you're saying, and that you feel like, hey, I'm gonna kill this test. But at the end of the day, you want to be able to make the decision and not have the decision made for you.
Yeah.
You mean, so when you couldn't, and your dad now, like, how you getting ready to apply?
Yeah, I was talking to one of my friend's moms, and she was like in high school, she had done good, and then she took I think it was a AP class, and it brought her grade all the way down. And then she's talking to her parents, and she was like, I'm going to be able to pick where I go to college instead of my parents paying for a college that I don't even want to go to.
Oh, that was good. Whose mama said that?
Corinne.
Yes, that's why I like Carmen. Shout out to Carmen. Yes. But that is so true. You want to have the option and be able to make choices and not have the choice made for you. So while I know for you, you're like, I was like, there's the real world consequences. Almost one of those situations where people are like, I don't like use math, and then you see them get in a situation where you like, this is how you use math. And so it was like we were talking, and then finally there was a situation that was like, and now that we think about it, that is where we saw the turn when you were like, this has restricted my options. Yeah. Let me get myself together. We looked.
And it just makes you feel better too. It's like,
do talk.
You've accomplished your goals. I think this year was a year like math actually like made sense to me.
You had a good math teacher.
Because like he sat there and like he didn't. Because I feel like other teachers judge you when you're like, oh, I'm confused. And you're like, well, why are you confused? I taught it to you. Like I gave you videos.
I hate that.
I did all this. I did all that. But Mr. Williams, he's just like we're gonna get through this together. Like this is a judge-free zone.
And Miss Brooks, shout out.
Miss Brooks.
Yeah.
It's a very like open environment, and like no one in the classroom judged you because it's like we're all in this together. So it's like either you fail together or you pass together.
I was so grateful for that because I feel like when you had him, I heard you talk about him more than I heard you ever talk about a teacher. Him and Miss Brooks, like you love that math class.
It was fun,
and it was like I know that they had it was something going on where there was a huge class, which is why they had 2 people in there. But
it's like 65 of us.
Yeah, which I had 2 teachers in there, and he held it down, and you were like, everybody pays attention, people don't play with him, so you knew like he held you to a certain standard, and you had respect. You had respect, but you also appreciated that while you were showing him respect, he showed you respect, and you got a lot out of that class. And to see you, like make that turn and be like, oh. Well, like, it feels good.
I found math fun. I would look forward to going to math class.
Yeah, and I know that was not always the case.
Definitely.
But then it was like a light came on and you would like, I would be going to bed and you would be working on something. I'm like, let's do tomorrow. You'd be like, no, this is due whenever, but I just want to get it done. I'm like, oh my God. Then I'd be nervous. I'm like, I don't know whether to be like, yes. Just walk away. Don't mess it up. I didn't know what to do. I was standing at your door like this. Okay. Oh, well, good job. Okay, love you. Close the door. Whose child is that in here doing stuff ahead of time so that she can have it done?
But also,
who is this?
Whenever you see a teacher who actually cares about you that much, it makes you want to do their work. And I had teachers who just like, they just did not like me. Like, they treated me like, I mean, you're a student, I'm a teacher. Like, we're never gonna be anything past that. Like, no connection.
Connection matters, but it does make a difference because I still remember some of my favorite teachers. At the same time, the lesson I want you to know is like that's gonna be life. And as much as we want everybody to love us and connect to us on everything we do, like that can't be the thing that you ride on for success. Oh, she act like she don't like me and getting an F in this class. Like we can't do that. So you like, okay,
I would genuinely try, but I feel like she looked at me as if I was dumb and didn't feel like you I can see potential in you. It's just like
that does matter, especially at the middle school grade. It takes a special person to do middle school. Yeah. And middle school was definitely my spot before I left. Like it was just my spot. But I'm glad that you had a teacher who was able to ignite that in you, but that also you took the lesson of seeing your friends have opportunities in front of them that you did not have because of your choices. And that you could have been mad and been like, whatever, but you turned it around and you used it for good. So we were super proud. And I'm like, yes, Lord, yes. Yes, Lord, yes. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? So I just want to go into this new school year with that same mentality. And I'm just excited to watch you flourish in high school, and more than anything, I'm kind of excited to watch you and your dad navigate this.
The only sad thing about it, I love going to basketball games. I love going to football games. I love going to all the games advanced. So it's like, what am I supposed to do?
Well, hopefully, the season will happen. Just, push back a little bit. So, that, I'm sure that's what everybody's hoping. That the numbers will keep dropping and that we'll get to the point where we can, get back to a new normal where they can have those things. The good news is it's not your senior year.
Yes,
that would suck bad. I felt so bad for seniors. So, while it does suck, it's your first year, I think this is a good way for you to get acclimated because sometimes with the first year, it's so much to take in. I'm in a new school. Y'all are like, y'all the youngins, you're ninth grade, so now you're trying to be here socially. Oh, what am I wearing? You already worrying me about clothes. I'm like, girl, leave me alone.
I don't have any clothes.
First, let's go here. There's somebody had something out one day that said having a daughter is like having a little broke best friend who thinks you're rich. Tell her I'm not rich, she will call you a liar. She's like, please, my mama rolling.
Don't believe it.
Look, see, tell her I'm not rich. She's like, you a dirty lie. My mom and daddy balling. At least that's what I mean, according to you.
In my eyes.
So she's always, so low key, they said plan C. I said, I don't have to go school shopping right now.
I was actually kind of looking forward to having those 3 outfits.
Ooh. Yeah, no, they were supposed to go for 3 days. Initially, they were supposed to go for 3 days. So I was like, you know what? I'll get you 3 outfits for those 3 days. That's a lot better than one. And then they were like, none. Let's keep a little money in my pocket. Yeah. I'll buy you some shirts. That's all they're going to be able to see. Get you some shirts.
I'm scared I'm like not going to make it.
You a girl. You're going to be in the house.
I know, but
Jesus, we not
what
gonna
if
start
like
this.
the Wi-Fi?
No, stop. There ain't nothing don't be wrong with the Wi-Fi. This Wi-Fi work every day. Y'all been in this house for 11 days, and all y'all do most times is sit around. The Wi-Fi works just fine. The fact that you even said that you need to stop.
But it could like cut off.
Girl, no. Girl, no. That open house today, real. They have a real schedule. Your first block class, you will be online with that teacher from this time to this time. They are taking attendance. They are taking tardies. So you're not going to be going downstairs, chilling, eating a snack, and moseying up and just joining the class. Oh, no.
That's what I was doing.
Like, no, you will be online and no pajamas. And
I don't have pajamas.
Yeah, but like it's no. I mean, well, from the waist up, no pajamas. You have to log in on time. And today, even with the virtual thing, there were a couple little glitches. It was good. I mean, they are ready. They do not play. They were talking grading policies and attendance and tardies.
Really excited because I could see people from like 3rd grade. Elementary school. So
the school you were at a school, then she left and went to a magnet school. So there was no, I mean, except for the other people. You had a couple of people from your school that elementary went. 2. Yeah, because you had to audition to get into the magnet school that she was in. So I think it was her and maybe 2 others from her school who got in there. But anyway, now the school, your elementary school, that school feeds into Vance. So you about to reconnect with some old friends.
Yes, I'm very excited.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I don't think they know what I look like now.
Well, if they think you're going to be... I've seen some, and they are still pretty...
I mean, they look... But I look kind of different.
You're so tall!
If you look at... I got an embarrassing...
student
ID. And it's from 6th grade, and, the library teacher told me to, cheese, and I was like... And she took the picture, and she kept the one where I look crazy in.
But it's crazy that was only 2 years ago. Because
you're
like a baby.
Different.
Like a baby. Yes. So I think people will be surprised that you are tall.
I was really short.
You're very tall now. I'm just so, mature. I don't know whose child you are. And of course, your uncle rubs in all the time. Me, she got you. I know she got you. I know that. Stop rubbing it in. And then today...
No, I don't want to grow in.
Today, he was like, yo, mate. She got you. And I had on shoes and you did not. Barefoot. And then I took the shoes off and I was like, I'm shorter than Jordan, but don't forget, I put these paws on you, girl. I mean, you're not the type of child to do that, but I just like to remind you in case you ever.
I feel like I want to be taller than you, but then at the same time, I don't want to grow anymore. I don't want to be any taller.
Well, you have no control over that. All your life, you've been like, I'm almost taller than you.
But I'm taller than you.
And now you
are. I've reached the spot. I'm like, it's okay to stop.
Just go keep it going. Keep the party going. Well, I think you're going to have an amazing school year.
It's going to be really fun. Yeah. Different, but fun.
Yeah. And I'm very excited to see how you will start this school year, because you ended the other ones on such a strong note, and so you pick up from there, and 4 years is nothing. 3 years ago, look how quick 3 years went by.
I was in I would say 4th grade, and I was like, I wonder what it's like to be in middle school, and I'm in 8th grade, and it went by so fast.
Yeah. So look how quick those 3 years. So you only have 4 years. I don't even want to think about it.
I think it's gonna be good, like online, because like a lot of people in middle school, they have friends and they all go to different schools, and then they end up like kind of going away from each other and
Yeah.
kind of stop talking to each other. So I think it will be better for me and my friend group only because we talk on the phone every single day. So it's not like.
And y'all all like spread.
Yeah.
Because like none of her friends are staying at the magnet school. Everybody was like, we want to go to what they call real high school. We want to go to high school, but again, that old school is a magnet, so they are from all over the county. And had y'all not gone to the magnet, y'all wouldn't have met because y'all all would have been in different middle schools.
If I would have stayed at my first elementary school, me and Krim would have met.
Oh, yeah.
But,
well, at elementary, but not at middle. If she's down there.
Yeah.
So you've met some really.
I've learned who my real friends are, most definitely.
Yeah.
Like it taught me how to move on. Like you don't have to stay with people who are toxic and constantly bring you down. It's like you don't have to be in this environment. Like you just leave.
I love Jordan. When I hear that about when you say stuff like that, I'm just like so proud because that's one of the things I've like stressed. But also, I'm just proud that you never been.
Like for me personally, if someone does me wrong, I'm not gonna sit there and be like, no.
Yeah, no, you're not. You are not a clinger.
Like,
You like, all right.
You messed up. I'm leaving.
You made middle school great for me. So I was grateful. I was like, because I've been in middle school so long, I knew, like, I know middle school can be rough. And so you definitely had that. And you were going to a school with nobody, like, that you really knew. And I'm like, but your personality, your character stood strong, girl.
I mean, I was, like, cool with everyone. I didn't, like, people have, I guess, beef at school. Yeah. And it's like, oh, I don't like her. And I just kept my composure. I was like,
but you are no fun to you. People can't have a beef with you.
It's so hard to bully me because I'll sit there and I'll start laughing with you. I mean,
you would be the least fun person because you are so like you piss your daddy off sometimes. He'll try to do something. So you said something earlier before we came in, and he was like, "Yo, you such a you just have that thing about you." But it's one of the things that I admire about you, like. You truly could not care less about what people think about you. You're like, I don't care.
I mean, like, why would I care what you say about me? I'm my own person. I choose to let what other people say in my mind or not. And if I don't want it in there, then I won't have it in there.
I love that about you. We have never, and I pray we don't ever, have had to have a conversation about, like, don't try to fit in. You don't have to go with the crowd. Like, we have never...
I do my own
had to
thing.
have that conversation. You really do. You are very, I call you my eclectic child. Like you are just, you are something special. I mean that in a good way.
I know how to get, like, I can not necessarily change my personality, but like learn how to fit in with certain groups. So like if I'm with a certain group of people, I know what to say or like what not to say. And it's like when you hang out with another group of people, it's like I'm not changing myself.
Yeah.
I'm just like I don't know how to explain. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you always stay true to you. So I've never been like, oh, seeing you with your friends. And
nobody can ever call me fake.
Yeah, I've never been like, why is Jordan acting like that, or who is whatever. Like that's never been the case, and that's that's not a conversation we've ever had to have. Again, our conversations have always just been like, Jordan, just do the damn reading. Can't just put something on the reading log and let me and your daddy sign it and say you did it, please. Can you just do that, please? That's been our primary thing, and I pray, that will always be like, well, no, I take that back. I pray I don't want to do that again, but I'm just saying I pray that. You stay true to who you are as you head into this new season.
I feel like it's hard to change yourself around other people. It's like I know a lot of people who they have a certain group of friends at school, and they're like a totally different person when you see them out. Like
that's tough to see.
Yeah, it's like I mean, like, you're not acting like this around me, but then whenever you get around them, you're like,
Oh.
like you're all big and bad. But
That's the worst.
when you're with me, you're like, oh, let's do this, let's do this.
You're like, so when you turn into her,
Yeah.
when you won't be doing all that, and then like that's a true change up. And a lot of times that comes down to like insecurities and worried about being accepted and fitting in. But I want to take credit. I feel like, again, we've had lots of conversations with you, but at the end of the day, you're the one who, once you step away from us, have to hold to that, and you have. So I'm proud of you.
Like, I don't know where I learned it from.
Girl, if you don't give me credit for this, you have to make me cuss. I be trying to keep this
it
cuss
must
free.
be my, like, I don't know, our environment is very, like, I feed off of you.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
So we're gonna have to come back with another one, because that could lead into a whole other conversation about.
Yeah. I catch myself doing stuff that you do. I'm like, you can't do that. You can't do that.
Oh, sometimes I do see I see me in you, and I'm like, that's me. She got that from me, especially when you were being stubborn. I'm like,
I don't like being wrong. Like, you can
not let your uncle hear that.
Like, you can tell me, like, we could be doing a math problem. You can be like, what's 2 + 2? And the answer is 4.
Jay is
I'll
gonna fall out when he hears.
I'll sit there and be like, it's 6. And I will tell you that you are wrong, even though you are right. I hate to admit that I'm wrong. Like, it just, like, it bothers me.
You are my child. Literally. Uncle Jay the other day said this about me. I don't remember how we got into the conversation, and he was like, when you talk about something, you so passionate. You go from 0 to 1,000, and there's no bringing you back once you get to 1,000. He's like, so even if I'm looking at this piece of paper and clearly it's blue, if you decide it's green, it ain't nothing with it, it's green. And then you get to the point, I don't even feel like arguing with you. You be like, hey, Mick, you right, it's green.
Like,
it's green.
I could never see myself.
Oh, but Jordan, that's what you know what?
Like, I can't see myself, like, dating someone who would do that to me, because, like, we get so mad at each other.
It's an area of growth that I am working on, because I've been called out on it now twice. Your uncle and your daddy both called me out on it in close proximity, and so I'm taking heed. I'm trying. Like, there is room for growth, and so that is one of the things with you, though, because it'll be like, Jordan, we'll tell you something, and you'll be like, no, it's not. Like, Jordan, your dad all the time. Like, it could be something about English, and me and your dad be like, we were both English teachers, Jordan.
We were talking about a project one time.
Your daddy gets so mad.
And
like, oh,
you guys told me to do something, and I was like, I'm not gonna do that because that's not what he told me to do.
And then we're like, Jordan, do it. And then you did it.
I did it.
And then you got the best paper. You like,
the best.
So the teacher said this was the best paper. We like, because
I think it was like punctuations and
something with English.
Set up the paper.
Yeah, and we were like, can you please trust your parents who teach English that this is the correct way to do this? Thank you, ma'am.
Very stubborn.
But you are, and that you got that from me. And if you said this to me a little while ago, I would have said nah. But like I said, your uncle and your daddy helped me to realize. Whoa.
Yeah, I think that's why my English teacher wanted me to join the debate team, because we had a debate team in 7th grade. And we debate about stuff, and he'd be like, you're really passionate about what you say. Like, you could be wrong, like seriously wrong. And, like, you'll kind of make someone, like, you'll persuade them to be like, am I wrong?
Yeah, I think you and I will argue to the point that we will make somebody who knows it right question whether or not they are. You be like, prove it. I watch me work and turn you around, and you knew you were right to start. Yeah, you're my child.
My friends say that about me all the time.
Again, we're going to have to do another conversation. We can talk about friends a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
Well, Jordan, thanks for talking tonight.
It's fun.
Yeah, so we'll have to come back. I might have to tell your daddy he's been replaced. Yeah, you've been replaced, sir. The oldest is taking your spot. All right, well, let's go forth and be great. Tell the people bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye, guys.